Welcome back, everyone, to Lore of the Shadow, where last time I visited Denethor, and by the time I finished it, the enemy had moved into place, besieged the city, and has set parts of it on fire, even. Well, quite a lot happened, Gandalf.
There is no more leaving the city. Minas Tirith is surrounded.
The Morgul host has surrounded Minas Tirith, and the Pelennor is filled with their weapons of war. They have not yet broken the gate, but there is still much harm that they can cause even from their positions beyond the walls. You must do what you can to help the city's defenders. The Council of Gondor is in disarray. Go to the Dome of the Sun and learn what you can to help them communicate their resolutions. Lemlor, the captain of the Tidings, will need help to send messages throughout Minas Tirith. Ingold is atop the wall on the north of the third circle, and will need your help to manage his fear and the fears of all the men behind the walls. Terror will be the greatest foe of our guardsmen, and they will need to master it if they are to mount an effective defense. The armies of Mordor have been using catapults and other siege weapons to launch burning stones over the walls and into the city. Find Rathon, the warden of the wells of the Sixth Circle, near the street that leads to the citadel, and help him extinguish some of the fires before they can spread. Okay, so I need to talk to Lamlor, and I need to talk to Ingold, and I need to talk to Rathon. Am I going to remember all of this? Probably not. Since Ingold is the closest, we will begin with him. Hello again.
An icy chill grips my heart.
An icy chill grips my heart, and it takes all of my strength to stand, and at the wall my heart quails, and would have me fly away from my post in terror. The enemy has catapulted vile ammunition into the city, heads that they have taken from soldiers caught outside of the walls, in the Pelennor and at Talathanor. The barrage has caused men to cast down their weapons, fleeing from the sight of friends and family returned in the hostile, horrible fashion. I am not immune to this weapon of Mordor. I have recognized faces in that terrible rain. It was the fate of Barahant Pinelor, and I wept to see it. Can you gather up the weapons and shields that were dropped by frightened men as they left their stations? We need that equipment, and those men, if we are able to stand against the armies of Mordor. So I need to retrieve abandoned weapons and abandoned shields. And I suspect at some point we will also be collecting abandoning soldiers. Soldiers that left their post and, yeah, probably need to get them back to their posts. I mean, right now, this is probably not the best time to try all the defenders for AWOL and have them executed or anything like that. It wouldn't help morale in the least. And morale isn't exactly at its peak at the moment. That is a bit of an understatement. Alright, this is the last of the weapons. Now, what are we going to do after that?
I do not blame them for running, but we need them to master their fear.
Evil are the sights of war, but this is worse than even the hardened soldier of Gondor could expect. But we must not give up hope. If the men who ran do not return to the fight, they will prove great allies to the foe outside the city. Only by returning to their posts and facing their fears can they strike a blow against such evil. Find the men who ran Pinelor. Tell them to return. We need every soldier of Gondor to master their fear and stand against the host of Mordor. and all is already lost. All right, so find frightened soldiers and convince them to return. Now, I can only hope that we succeed in this little task. Let's see. There's a way down here somewhere, right? Surely there is. Didn't I get up here somehow? I figure if I got up here somehow, then I must be able to get down somehow. Alright, there we go. So let's see if we can find... Oops. Oh. Well, there are some soldiers back there that need convincing to return to battle. Well, return to their posts at least. I don't think the battle has quite reached us yet. But it should at some point. Well, unless you consider the siege to be part of the battle. Alright, it's time to get back to duty. I cannot stand against such evil. Well, this is going to be a problem. Hey, how about getting back to your post, please? I will not die for you! Maybe they shouldn't have sent me. Maybe they should have sent someone with a little bit more oomph to their speaking voice. Return! The end has come! Ah. Hey, do you think it'd be a good idea to return to your post? I will return and fight! Thank goodness. At least somebody. Oh, that's 1 and 6. Does that mean I'm going to have to talk to 24 people before I get them to come back? Hey, time to get back to your post. My courage returns. Thank goodness. Alright, here's another one. It's time to get back to your station. I cannot stand against such evil. Apparently you can't. Alright, what about you? You think you could return to your post and get things back? There may be no victory, but I will stand all the same. Yay, that's 3. Okay. Hey, we need you back at your post. I am ashamed. I will fight for my honor. Good. Pretty please, get back to your post. Sugar on top. I will not get into fear any longer. Okay, good. We'll see if maybe that's the perfect formula. Pretty please with sugar on top, please. Fight on! Fight on! Okay, we got half a dozen. Let's get back to Ingold. Of course, there was a stairway practically next to Ingold. Well, I obviously missed it. Hello.
I will fight until the last of my courage is spent.
You did well, my friend. Well, he didn't see the other 10 who ran off. I, too, will fight until the last of my courage is spent, in order to avenge the sad fate of my friends. Berahant will be avenged, and if it is in my power to prevent the destruction of Gondor, I will do it. Huzzah! Okay. Ooh, rep. And that takes care of the first one. Now the next quest is up a few circles. I decided to head to the Dome of the Sun next, where it appears that somebody didn't like the replica of the city. Well, that's rude.
The withered tree has left us a message.
The siege is well and truly begun, Pinelore. We must hope that our preparations were enough, and that the gate stands strong. It should hold the enemies outside at bay for some hours, I hope, but it is the enemies within our walls that concern me right now. Look at the model of the city, and the scroll that now decorates it. The message is the work of the withered tree. The end has come. They may be so, but I am going to ensure that the Wither Tree reaches the end before they do. Some members of the group gained access to the Dome of the Sun and committed this act while we were all busy elsewhere. I'm the captain of tidings, and I send forth errand riders throughout the city and to other parts of Gondor, but that is not my only title. I am also the spy master of Minas Tirith, and I know how a group like the Wither Tree operates. They must have gained some of the passwords for the upper circles of the city. Huron must change the passwords. We have not used the current set for long, as usual, but in time of war, 3 hours may seem like days. Ask him for the new passwords and give them to the guards at the gates of the upper circles. Then find the members of the Wither Tree in the lower circles and make them cease their hateful whisperings. I will meet you in the first circle when you have proved successful. All right. Very well. So, talk to Huron about changing some passwords. Yes. So I guess we're going to use better passwords this time? If the new password is password, then I'm quitting this job. Hello there. We need some new passwords.
We must change the lesser passwords. It is time.
I've already written up a new set of passwords for the gates into the upper circles of the city. Show them to the guards and then destroy these parchments. Perhaps that will hinder the movements of the Wither Tree into the upper corridors. After the passwords have been set, Lamlor wants you to find members of the Wither Tree urging descent in the lower quarters. If you will be able to recognize them, I suppose. They have become more brazen in recent days, and now that the siege has begun, I suppose they have nothing more to lose. They may be obvious to you now. Go with haste, and remain loyal to the council and to the steward. All right. Huzzah, huzzah, huzzah. Let us now head outside and start talking to the guards. We will need to speak to the warden of the wells, but first, let's talk to the gate guard up here and deliver the new password. And we can only hope that it is something better than password, as I said. But I suspect that knowing Minas Tirith, it's not going to be too much better than that. It might be Gondor. Well, okay. Maybe that's not likely. Hello there. New password.
Already a new password.
Okay, very well. I recognize Huron's mark, and I will see to it that no one passes this gate save that those who know this password. Light of Hope. It is an appropriate password. May we still possess that of which we speak when the night ends. Yes, that is it. We could use the Light of Hope, right? Yes, we can. Well, I'm pretty sure that the enemy army isn't going to know such a password, but we're dealing with the Wither Tree here, and then, well, it's always a possibility. Well, not that they particularly have any hope. I mean, isn't that the entire point of how they operate? Having no hope or anything of such a matter? Hello there.
Fire threatens to spread throughout the city.
The armies of Mordor have catapulted flaming stones into the city, and the fires threaten to spread. Okay, I suppose we do have the brush up there and the like, which could potentially catch fire. And I do see some wood around here. I mean, the most intact piece of wood I see, though, is this tub that's full of water. I don't think that's going to catch fire anytime soon. Okay, fine. We've Fire threatens to spread. My men have set water buckets on each level, but there are simply not enough to go around. If you can help put out the blazes before they spread, you will be doing a city a great service. Oh, quickly! Start here in the sixth circle and use one of the water buckets to put out the flaming stones, and then work your way down the city level by level. There will be water buckets near the ramps down each of the circles, but they may not be near enough to the fires unless you hurry. Okay. Oh, go with my blessing, friend. We cannot fight both the fires and the foes at the same time. We must control the blazes before the enemy gets into the city. Alrighty. Let's see. So we need to... Is this one of them? No, apparently not. Now, is there a... Well, there is a flame right there. I haven't seen a usable water bucket yet, though. Is there another one? I was so focused on the tub that I ignored the actual bucket. I guess that tub would have been a bit large for me to go carrying around. Not that that's ever stopped in this game. I mean, some of the things that I've carried around are considerably larger than that tub. And sometimes I'm going around bringing multiples of them, so yeah. Well, that was effective. Now, I guess we go down to the next level of the city. Before I pick up the next bucket, I should speak to the guard here and tell him that there's a new password.
I believed we would soon need new passwords.
This is Huron's mark, and now I will recognize only the new password. Flame of Victory. Flame of Victory. I'm not too sure I really want to think about flames at the moment. I hope it is our victory and not the victory of Mordor that the password presages. Well, unless this is a long to draw, I will presume that there's going to be a victory to somebody. Well, now let's see if I can find another bucket down here. Oh, I see a bucket right down there. Now, the only question is, where is the fire that I need to extinguish? Nothing that way, so I'll presume it's going to be in this direction. Ah, I do have an arrow pointing that way. I'll assume that means... Ah, yes, I see a fire up ahead. So, incoming! Alright. Another fire extinguished. Now, let's find the next ramp down and speak with the guard. Hello there, it's time to change the password.
The orcs of Mordor will not turn from this gate for the lack of the password.
A new password already? I think the time for passwords is behind us, Pinelore. The orcs of Mordor won't turn away from my gate because of the lack of a password. But this is Huron's mark, and I am bound to obey. The new password will be triumphant. But whose triumph will it be, I wonder? Well, that's a good question. And unfortunately, I don't have an answer. We're now low enough that I may need to worry about the withered tree. I better see if any of them are about before I start grabbing buckets and being distracted by that. Hello there.
The steward is a fool. We will not die for him.
Oh, really? I see. Well, you'll die anyway. You might as well do it with honor, right? Maybe. Well, there. Hey! Rude! Huh. Note to self. Lord Master Pets do not like ramps. Or at least not the ramps that are in this city. Alright, well, now that I've determined that, let's see if I can determine the location of the next fire. I am assuming that it is this way. If I'm wrong, well, then I'll have to backtrack. That's what will happen. Looks like that there were other opportunities for me to have found one of the members of the Wither Tree. Now the question is, oh, okay. The Wither Tree just has people stationed all over the place just to say, it's hopeless, it's hopeless, it's hopeless. Ah, finally, I found a fire to extinguish. So, here we go. You extinguish the stone before long calls out to you happily. Hello there.
This gets the blood flowing, does it not?
Ah, how do you fare? This gets the blood flowing, does it not? It puts me in mind of any number of great adventures, and I look forward to adding to my list of great deeds. Golesgil here doesn't share my enthusiasm, so I have resolved to have enough for both of us. Let the enemy gain the wall, and we'll see how many of them it will take to wipe the smile off my face and the laughter from my lips. Ha ha! More than they brought, I wager. Well, they brought a large number. Well, what do you guys say about this, Golesgil?
An air of doom hangs over the city, but Forlorn does not seem to care.
Does Forlong not realize that this night could spell the end of Minas Tirith and for Gondor? We're surrounded. The gate has never fallen, but there has never been an army on the Pelennor like the one that fills it now. I cannot explain Forlong's disposition. I cannot even understand it. Well, let's head down another level. Once again, I will first search for members of the Wither Tree before I take care of the bucket. Ah, maybe this is one. Hello there! Fine day, isn't it?
There is no hope for us. The council and the steward have failed.
And they have doomed the city to fall. Can you not hear the harsh cries beyond the walls? Yes, I even hear some harsh cries within the walls. We should have listened to the Wither Tree and cast these leaders from the highest level of Minas Tirith. Perhaps then we would have been spared. No way. Oh. Alright, much better. Well, now, I think it's time for us to pick up a bucket. After which, we will find the fire. Now, eeny, meeny, miny, or mo. I think it's this way. Actually, the fire seems to be in this direction. Ah, there it is. Ah, there we go. Now, It's time for us to head on down to the second level. I must say that blacksmith is showing some dedication. Now, let's see if we can find someone from the withered tree around here. Ah! He looks promising. Hello there, friend.
The host of Mordor will spare us if we open the gates.
We must open the gate. Have you not seen the parchments that the withered tree has placed throughout the city? The withered tree are a bunch of liars. The host of Mordor will spare us if we open the gates. The orcs only want the steward and the council, that they will allow the common folk to live if they let them in. Yeah, right. It is wisdom. We must open the gates. I will kill you if you try to stop me. You will, huh? Well, alright, fine. Right. Okay, now I think it's time for us to find the bucket, which, yes, right over here. And now, let's see which direction looks more promising to have a blazing fire. Well, that looks more promising. Let's see if it's true. Yes. That most certainly looks like a burning stone. Ah! Hello there, doing here?
It is good to see you making yourself useful, friend.
Wonderful. I mean, you certainly wouldn't want me to have more than 5 seconds standing still, would you? My sons wanted to charge out of the city and take on the enemy by themselves. Probably an entire army of Moonmok, right? And their hearts burns for battle, but I have set them to much more reasonable tasks. Oh, like what? When the great ball came down, trailing fire behind it, it took a large bite from the wall. For now, my sons work to shore up the defenses and repair what they can do. Oh, they grumble about it, but I know they will be fighting before the night is over. They will have their chance. I hope that you will be ready as well when the time has come. It will not be long, right? I suppose so. Whee! Alright, that takes care of the fires. But now, see what I have to do. I have to talk to Lamlore at the city gates. Okay, that's the first circle. Ah, here's the Lamlore now.
Supporters of the withered tree are both disloyal and foolish.
You found supporters of the withered tree throughout the lower circles of the city. I knew you would. There are more and more of them every passing hour. I have been kept quite busy keeping them away from the gate. Can you believe that they think that they will find mercy from the armies of Mordor? They're disloyal and foolish both. Yeah, and considering the history of what they've been doing, keep fighting for Gondor, Pinelore, and I will do the same against any and all foes. Very well. And I need to talk to Imrahil next, which is where you'll find me in the next episode of Lore of the Shadow.